bad thing now is Jazzler is on the other screen. There is no other screen. The program. There is only one fucking screen. One more thing, then we're starting.
Okay.
But I look like shit.
Is it a monster cable?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go.
The following program is a U-Record Studios production.
But I just gotta know. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Ask for
Nothing here.
The following program is a U-Record Studios production.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation. You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network.
The following program is a U-Record Studios production.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready, kids?
Marked Out Wrestling Podcast presents Brian.
Do you think I'll ever find the right woman?
Oh, God. Yes, man. Come on, dude. You're great.
Golda.
Rub Vaseline all over your hiney and tell you that it's special and different from everyone else's.
And Jody Robb.
Shit! What are you fucking both doing? Good Lord!
This is the Weekly Takedown.
Nobody cares! Nobody cares!
It is the Weekly Takedown. This is Roode Rob here, and I am fuming from head to toe, through my ears and everywhere around, man. I am so damn angry right now, Golda.
You need a Xanax.
It's like if
Snickers too.
It's like everything Bob has ever said about me has come true right now. If you're joining us via podcast, and you won't understand this. If you're joining us via the live board, thank you so much for hanging out with us. But yeah, we got all this new setup going on in our new studio, and everything was cranked and ready to rock and roll like a minute before it started. One little mishap, and everything went to shit for our live stream.
Everything.
every damn thing.
You're even able to count all the veins in Rob's head.
I am so
Jinder Mahal head.
I'm so over that shit. So here's the deal, guys, boys and girls. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do some marked out wrestling podcasts. We're gonna do the weekly takedown. Unfortunately, Mr. Brian is not with us. He is stuck on the road, coming back from Long Island or Virginia or wherever the hell he travels to.
Right, yeah, that's where he's going. He's going to Virginia today,
Right.
and then New York tomorrow, I guess.
Right. So I will be kind of doing the helm here with help from my heavy-handed heavy here, Mr. Golda, who's joining us.
What's going on, people?
Mr. Steve Awesome, who was with us.
I'm taking Brian's place, and I just came for the new look tonight. I'm kind of disappointed, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, we had a screen for the wall, and we had the animations aren't fucking working now. It's just like
we'll get it done. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Monday's gonna be good. We'll get it fixed. Monday, you guys are gonna be amazed at how nice
Awesome.
everything looks.
Right.
Wow.
So everybody on the board who stayed with us, JBL Shadow, Tim Smith, Noah, Daniel Price, a lot of new people, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us through all of our trial and errors. We were supposed to start like 40 minutes ago, and we just got it going. I am covered in sweat. There's flies in the studio. I am just hot to trot right now. So, with all that said, let's do some housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Here are your marked out wrestling housekeeping notes and weekly schedule. Monday nights at 11:30 p.m. Join us for Monday Night Rawsome. Tuesday nights at 10:15 p.m. Marked Down. The weekly Takedown. Thursdays at 5 p.m. where Brian Golda and Roode will react and review to the NXT broadcast on the WWE Network. Showtimes are for live YouTube broadcasts. All podcast versions will be available the next day on various podcast providers. Upcoming WWE pay-per-view specials and marked out shorts like Rode's Rant, Smarts vs. Marks, the Power Slam Dance Show, and Indie McIndieface will be announced as they are scheduled. Feel free to join us on our exclusive Bubba Radio Army Network show, The Weekly Squash. Visit BubbaRadioArmy.com for listings. Keep the conversation going on Twitter using the handle @SmartMarkShow. You can call our fan line 704-444-0084 or send us an email, markedoutpodcast@gmail.com. Visit markedoutwrestling.com for all other social media networks. Get connected. Get connected. Get connected. Get connected. Get connected.
Go away.
Oh my god!
I said no. Okay, I clean?
No, get out of here.
I stick finger in your mouth? Housekeeping?
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, real quick before we really kick into this pig, just a couple things. Number one.
iTunes.
Yeah, reviews on iTunes. If you're listening on the podcast, you can't see all the or hear all the technical difficulties, so you should review us with 5 stars bright, right?
Five.
And also, I want to give a very special thanks to our friend the Wookiee. When we were setting up our new computer and a new streaming and all the stuff going on, Wookiee Skyped us. He walked us through the process, and we're looking forward to collaborating with him, hopefully, this coming Monday night. So, Wookiee, thank you, brother. Thank you for hooking it up for us. But let's get to the show. Let's do some bullet points, as we call it here on this show. Golda, take it away.
All right, I guess I'm going to hit the big news first. Mauro Ranallo tweeted out earlier this afternoon that he is joining the NXT announce team.
Wow.
So I guess Tom Phillips is going to be just SmackDown, and Ranallo is going to be on NXT.
Now, can we have him on the main roster?
I wonder, did someone call and apologize and like, you can have your job back. We're sorry we were a dick, etc., etc., etc.
Right, I think they're like trying to
save face.
Save face, prevent a future lawsuit. And it's obvious Ranallo loved calling wrestling for WWE.
He was great at it too.
Yeah. You know what though? In my opinion, NXT really needs it. And
I think that's why.
I'm not a fuck your face Phillips fan anyway, right?
Right.
I think he's just he's lame. He's like a lamer version of Michael Cole.
Right.
And Nigel and the other dude, what's his name?
Percy Snow.
Percy
Watson.
They do nothing to enhance the mood of the show at all.
Yeah, Tom Phillips isn't a professional. He doesn't know how to take his sidekicks and pull the best out of them.
Well, I guess we could say there's no personality, but we could say more than anything, there's no energy. No energy on an NXT. Mauro has so much energy to bring.
And I think he's really going to be able to pull out of Nigel what he gave us when he was the Ring of Honor guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a good commentator on that.
Well, if he can be a good antagonist, that would work out.
Yes.
I mean, the best thing about like JR, oh my God, he embraced what he was doing. He wasn't just reading from a script. Oh, there's a suplex. It just kind of dumb as shit, right?
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
Let's see. They announced 5 more names for the Mae Young Classic. The headliner of this is going to be none other than third-generation superstar Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa.
I kind of figured she'd be in that.
Old
That's
Tessa.
good.
Old
Good,
Tessa.
good.
Let's see. We have Abby Lath. Let's see. A black belt judoka Tainara Conti.
Next.
Jazzy Gabbert.
Next.
Jazzy Gabbert.
Next.
And great Kali protege Kavita Devi.
What?
Oh, Great Kali
Was she 7 foot something?
That sounds like a oxymoron, isn't it? Great Kali protege.
Yeah, because he runs the only wrestling school in India.
Well,
she came out of that.
Oops, I'm sorry for all the Indian people. That sucks for you. Anything else?
Yes, of course.
Okay. What else? Get on that shit.
Oh,
Golda.
and I want to wish a special congratulations. This morning, Apollo Cruz's girlfriend had their baby. It's a little girl.
Oh.
So, and all the indie wrestlers that are friends, Moose, Ricochet,
Right.
they all tweeted their congratulations.
Well, that's
so
cool.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Congratulations to Apollo Cruz, a.k.a. Ooh-ha, ooh-ha, ooh-ha. I wonder if his wife was like, ooh-ha, ooh. Never mind. Doesn't make
oh, yeah,
sense.
and Kimberly changed her name.
Kimberly changed her name
Yes.
to.
And I had it on my phone, and it disappeared.
No, we are.
Let's
Just,
get
we are.
the
just-
ghost machine took over your phone.
We are
too.
all stellar tonight. All right, here we go. Yes, Noah. Kiara got to meet Tessa and Ricochet at her wrestling training. Thank you, Noah.
Brian chimed in.
Abby
Brian.
Lath.
Brian. Hi, Brian.
Abby
Hi,
Lath.
Abby Lath.
Yeah, that's her new name.
Okay. So here we go. Let's react and review NXT from 6/21/2017. Here are your three topics. It's going to be Ember Moon Rising, Anytime, Anyplace, and Black Mass Rising. A lot of the use of Rising.
Well,
in
after
there.
I typed that up, I realized we should have probably did Fade to Black, because that's what Tom Phillips said as he hit the ground.
Well, let's never quote Tom Phillips ever.
But it was perfect.
All right. So I'm sorry. Brian's rules.
3.
Number 3, Ember Moon Rising. So we saw the return of the Ember Moon versus the Peyton Royce with the Billy Kay alongside. And to me, was it a stop? Well, I'm asking here. Was it a stopgap kind of match just to get her kind of back in ring shape against Peyton to move on to an Asuka type thing, or is Asuka locked up with Nikki? Is it going to be a program with Peyton and Ember moving forward, guys?
I think they're setting up for the SummerSlam takeover,
Right.
Which it has to be
Her and-
Asuka versus her. So they're trying to build her back into the storyline, give her something to do until they're ready to unleash the Asuka versus Ember, unless somehow Nikki Cross beats Asuka next week.
Oh, exactly. And does Ruby Riott get put back in with Nikki Cross?
I mean, they have to at some point. They have to.
What do you think of Stevie?
I'm just thinking it's just a matter of time before Peyton Royce gets pushed up. So maybe they have this rivalry with Ember Moon now, get it out of the way. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll find out. We'll all find out together forever. I thought it was a good match. I mean, I didn't see any botches in it. The girls looked like they had their timing down. Ember looked just as good as she was before she left.
Yes.
And I actually thought she looked a little happy to be back, honestly.
Very excited. Very
Yeah,
excited.
she seemed to work the crowd pretty well.
Yeah, and Peyton Royce, she's a great competitor to come back to if you're trying to knock off the ring rust. You know what I mean?
Especially when they came in around the same time, so they probably wrestled
Yeah,
together
of
millions
course.
of hours, or not millions of minutes.
Right.
So I mean, it's a perfect person to put in.
Okay. So there you go. There's topic number 3.
2.
Number 2 is going to be Anytime, Anyplace. Go ahead, Golda. What is this?
Oh, this one. Remember, you had the dust up between Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong.
You want to get rid of real
and,
man.
And when Roode was
Classic.
angry against the wall, he said, "Hey, chump, I'll take you on anytime, any place."
Yeah.
You did.
I'm sorry. Even in that situation where, look, if I'm there with my fiance and my baby son or whatever daughter I have,
Son. Yeah.
yeah, and somebody says stuff like that to me, Roddy just seems so like, where's my cue? When's my cue? To me.
Right.
And I guess because I'm waiting on it, because his face he looks so non-interested in this
Right.
segment. So
Because it seems like he didn't decide to punch him until he said, he asked his wife, "You want to go with a real man?"
well, I mean,
and then he lunged right at
and
him.
That's usually when you do it.
yeah, that's when that would be your cue in real life to do it.
Yeah.
To me, it just, I don't know, it just.
Seemed weird that his wife was there with the baby. But I loved it.
Well,
Rude was
Yep.
was hearkening to ravishing Rick Rude by hitting on his wife in front of him, kind of thing. I loved that part.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was nice.
Yeah, Board. I'm sorry I didn't get to you guys on the last topic. I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything I'm going through today.
Yeah.
But let's see. Tim Smith on the board he said something and I missed it. JVL Shadow, quick rivalry to get busy till Asuka, talking about the Ember Moon topic.
Right.
And let's see here. Roode pulling the real man card, says Tim Smith. Man, now look, I knock on Roddy. I know I do. And I'm knocking on him again in this segment. But if you want to go with a little, break kayfabe into kayfabe type moment, that's the moment when you start a real, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I wanted to be emotionally involved in a strong feud, Roderick Strong feud,
right,
then I guess that's the way we would do it, because I can relate to that.
Right.
So and it's better than him cutting promos. Just do some kind of dramatic stuff in the back to try to build it up.
Right.
And Daniel Price says nothing against Strong, but him getting fast tracked to Roode this fast just feels wrong. I completely agree. If you look at the background here, Roddy has been on basically a losing streak, right? Lost to a Tommy, and I think he had a loss to Roode, and et cetera, et cetera. But you have someone like Aleister Black, who we'll get to in just a moment, who has been on a winning streak. I don't want him to be in a title picture yet, or maybe not at all, because he hasn't really beat anybody but Ohno now to get to that spot. But why does Roddy get the spot? I mean, he just lost the number one contender match, which I don't think he should have been in to begin with.
I mean, yeah, but it's just I know I'm creating lots of dead air you got to cut out there. But I mean, everything you said is it's perfect.
Yeah. Price follows up by saying, and if he is going to be if he's going to be the one Roode gets the one blemish on his record from, that is going to leave a whole lot of people jumped and lost in the shuffle. Sure.
Well, who else is really jumped though?
Well, you know what? I would give No Way Jose. No Way Jose. He's been grinding it out for a while, doing some main event matches, winning some rivalries
like that.
Well, Almas has his own thing going on. I don't think you want to mess with him right now.
Okay. You're right.
But I mean, overall, you've just got so No Way Jose, I think, deserves a spot before Roode, or before Strong.
Well, he was injured. That's why he was gone for that month.
I know that, but still, if you look at what he's done compared to what Strong has done, Strong is going off of his name alone.
Right, which is going to sell a few tickets, yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think Roderick Strong sells tickets unless you're in an Armory or PWG.
I mean, all their house shows are in armories, in small places like that.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's not going to help people come to Brooklyn.
He is not a top card guy.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. Well, but people are going to remember how great he was on the Indies, and if it's his first time coming through their town, they're going to go just say, hey, fucking Roderick Strong was my dude. Let's see what he's doing now.
I don't think people are going to come because they remember how good he was in the Indies. I think they're going to come because they heard how good he was in the Indies.
Yeah,
I think that's
a valid point.
I think a lot of people were salivating for him, and when he showed up, they were like, "This is literally this is what we got." I don't know. Noah says the way Daniel Bryan. I don't know what the hell he's talking about there. Whatever, doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. We're rushing through them, guys, because we're really late. I apologize for that. Next week we'll have it. We'll have everything squared away. I promise. Okay. So number one is going to be our. What do you want to call it instead?
Fade to black.
Fade to black. Fade to black. So we got our Ohno and Aleister Black, and our first kind of besides Almas.
Right. Besides this first takeover match, yeah.
Right. We actually see Aleister in a competitive match, and disappointed is not a word I would use here.
No, it was of course the best match of the night.
Oh well, obviously, yeah. I mean,
right.
There was no competition anywhere throughout the show.
Right.
As far as wrestling goes, and it was a wonderful wrestling match. I know you said they've done better ones on PWG. But of course they had more time, more freedom. For me, I like the psychology that Ohno used, especially stealing the crisscross applesauce there in the middle of the ring, and Aleister getting a little offended by that. I wasn't quite sure. Okay, so I knew when Nakamura and Finn fought, it was a face type thing.
Right.
Right. So you knew what to. You kind of just knew how the crowd was going to react. This one, I wasn't quite sure. I didn't see it as face. I was like, is it heel face? Is Ohno going heel here?
Right. I think they rely on Aleister Black being kind of more of a tweener. Like he's not the typical face. The people love him, but he's not necessarily heel either.
Right.
Kind of like
terrified of him.
Kind of like how Orton was a lot of his career. He wasn't a face or a heel. He was just in the middle.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, Ohno, I want to make a suggestion to you, bud. No hate here, but Maybe you should try NFL uniforms instead of
the NBA
NBA
thing is kind of well. I guess you can't wrestle in NFL type uniforms.
Well, the NBA uniforms are not doing it for you. I'm sorry.
Right. I kind of like the Bulls jacket he had on.
Well, I mean, the jacket's fine, but once he took it off, it's like, oh no, he's like he's been having too many Polish sausages there in Chicago. Dana Price, good for Black, bad for Hero and Kenta. If Itami is the only one to flip heel, Ohno is going to have to put him out, and the Japanese man goes to limbo again. I don't think Kenta stays. I think he eventually goes back to Japan. I really do.
All right. Noah says, if you want to get the cruiserweight division over, put Black in there. I'm not even going to read the rest because I don't like that whatsoever.
No, who
like
said
him
that?
on the main
Noah?
roster.
No, Noah, no.
He is way too good.
His stature is bigger than 205 Live. Like he's a main event. He's not a big dude, right? I don't want to call him small because he's like this a hair bigger than me.
Right.
But he's not a little mini.
But he doesn't wrestle like a mini.
And he doesn't wrestle like a mini. But more importantly, his presentation and his stature,
right,
is main event. It's main card. I mean, it's main event. I don't want to say Taker-esque.
He's like, but better than Bray Wyatt. More of a face of fear than he is.
Yeah, I could see Bray Wyatt going to 205 Live better than I could Aleister Black.
305 Live.
Well, yeah, I mean, he'd have to split in two and be twin magic, whatever the case may be. But Aleister Black is in no way a cruiserweight, and to put him there would be a disservice to him.
Yeah,
100%. Like the cruiserweights are doing what they do. Neville is, I think it's a really good gimmick for Neville. I think it puts him over. He's playing the shit out of that role. The rest of the division's kind of waddling, trying to figure out what they want to do.
Right.
Stupid little storylines. I don't know how long it'll last, but yeah, Aleister Black is a long-term guy. He's going to go to the main roster when he does, and he's going to be there for a long time. I think Vince will use him right, and I only say that because he used Taker right.
Right.
If he can fill that slot with him, but don't really compare the two.
Yeah, don't compare the two. But if Vince was good at doing the kind of the Dark Angel type role, well, Aleister Black fits that role.
It's perfect, especially with his entrance. It's larger than life.
Yeah.
You could say the way he rises up and slowly, methodically walks down the rings. I mean, there are a lot of comparisons.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tim Smith put Kassius on SmackDown after TakeOver. I'm actually okay with that. I don't think Ohno has a real role to play in NXT. And if you're going to sign him back and you're going to use him, why not just go ahead and put him on a struggling NXT roster? Although, on the flip side, where's Dillinger? Right?
Right. Yeah.
Where's American Alpha?
Making Sonic commercials.
Where's the fucking Road Warrior wannabes? Ascension.
Oh, right. I'm pretty sure the Fashion Police killed the Ascension.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean,
let's see. Noah says you don't keep him in the cruiserweight division. You just put him there to help elevate the division and then level him up. And I think
you can't jump like that.
No, you don't do
There's
that.
plenty of talent to level up that division if he did it right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking like Rey Mysterio-esque, where Rey starts as a cruiserweight, ends up being a champion eventually. Okay, well, Rey is a little guy. He's portrayed as a little guy.
Yeah.
Right.
He's always been a little guy. He's the one that overcame the odds to win it, like Daniel Bryan overcame it and won it. Aleister Black he's not that guy. If you put him on 205 Live or the cruiserweights, it will start him out on the wrong foot. People will not give two shits about him because he's on 205 Live, which nobody watches. And his entrance is bigger than 205 Live.
Oh, yeah, by far.
So, Dana Price, have Black go main roster, rope-a-dope Corbin, take his briefcase, cash in first of the year.
Well, I would love to see that, but I don't think that's happening.
Right.
Yeah, you got a lot of rights tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to let Stevie speak because he feels like I feel like he gets lost in the shuffle when it's four people.
Well,
yeah.
this
so
isn't really my show.
In.
I'm just throwing in.
No, I want you to be a part of it, man.
Okay. If I hear right one more time, I'm going to throw something at you. Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
God, I hate you. All right. If you guys comment on these three topics, please go ahead and throw them on the board. We'll get back to them. Let's go ahead and move on to everything else. Was there anything else?
Let's see. We didn't talk about. Let's see. Sanity versus the Ely Brothers.
Sanity versus the Ely Brothers.
That was a solid little match. I didn't have any problems with it.
I shit on Ely Brothers a lot. Not literally.
Right.
Obviously in analysis.
I got you.
Right. But I'm turning a corner on the Ealy Brothers a little bit. I think they have a lot to adjust about their style and who they are. I don't like the fact that they come out, beating their chest and like people applaud for them, which they don't. I think they should come out more like Doom. I don't mean to make the Black comparison.
Right.
Just don't say anything.
Well, you're talking. I'm just confirming what you're saying, and I'm going to wait till you're done.
I know.
And then I'm going to give you my opinion like we usually do.
Right. But yeah, come out like Doom, where it's just kind of that solid, no emotion to the ring to beat somebody's ass.
Well, that's been done by other type of tag teams, but that would be a better gimmick for them, I think, than what they're doing now. But they did look good in the ring, I thought.
Yeah, no, I think they're solid. I think they're improving. I'm still not in love with how they got them presented, right? Their new ring gear is better than it was.
And the robes aren't as large as they were before. They're smaller.
The ropes?
The robes.
Oh, the robes. The robes.
Remember they had the big giant robes and they threw them off? These ones are smaller.
Oh, okay.
Right.
They look sort of just like hoodies, basically.
Right. So they had a good match. Eric Young, of course, is always Eric Young, and Alexander Wolfe is always Alexander Wolfe.
For lack of a better term.
Exactly right. So, I mean, take it how you want to on that one. Young in the springboard neck breaker, all I got to say, says Dana Price.
That was nice.
That was very nice. I apologize if I'm not being too detailed. I got to watch a little bit of it. I got to watch everything in spurts as I was panicking to get everything right. And
panicking is the word, and lots of motherfuckers.
We put a lot of work into the graphics and stuff. Yeah, it'll come. It'll come.
It'll come. And of course, Wookie was trying to walk me through shit as we were watching NXT. So, there you go.
Right. And we also we had a Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville.
Versus Rachel Evers.
I wanted to talk to Sonya Deville. Talk about Sonya Deville. So Rachel Evers.
Yeah, which is Rachel Ellering.
Okay. Oh, is that Ellering?
Yes,
that was a familiar.
Yes, but they changed her name so they don't lump her with her dad right away because he's got that AOP thing going.
Right. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's Rachel Ellington. Yes.
Good for her. Sonya Deville is another one where I guess, and I don't. The crowd doesn't give her a lot of reaction, and she fights for it. You can see her; she's doing everything she can to try to get somebody to do something in reaction to her, and they're just not biting. And honestly, I don't have a problem with her at all, guys. I mean, she's a good worker.
You got to figure there's going to be an MMA type wrestler,
right?
Type of wrestler. I mean, CM Punk kind of thing, but a female version.
Yeah, that doesn't get knocked out in minute 27. But whatever you want to call. My problem with Deville is, and it's my problem with most wrestlers nowadays, is all the close-handed strikes. I mean, I get your MMA and jiu-jitsu and all that shit. But for me, wrestling is wrestling. I want to see, if you want to win me over, like I'm not hating on you, but if you want to win me over, show me that you can wrestle. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of strong style.
Right.
And although I do like Nakamura, and I do like some other people who like Asuka, that use strong style, but they still use a lot of wrestling moves too. I would like to see Sonya do more wrestling to complement her MMA,
more than just a submission type thing.
Yeah, I did like her. I did like her finisher.
Yeah, no, it was good.
It was the little armbar she did.
I agree.
Yeah, it was good.
It was very good. But again, I don't want her. I don't want wrestling to complement her MMA. I want her MMA to complement wrestling to complement her MMA.
Especially,
what I mean.
Especially with Rachel Ellington.
Ellering?
Yeah, I keep want to say Ellington for some reason.
She's obviously
but she could have did some chain wrestling with her because she's
right.
She was trained by Lance Storm.
Right.
She could chain wrestle her fucking ass off.
You want my respect? You give me some chain wrestling. You want my respect? You give me some grappling. You want my respect? You give me some submissions. You don't want my respect? You do 90% of your matches throwing punches and kicks.
Yeah, even Brock Lesnar, when he came back from UFC, he used a lot of the strong style, but at the same time, he mixed in his wrestling, his little submissions with his suplexes.
Right, and of course, he is Brock Lesnar, so whatever he wants to do, he can do. Jumping on the board here, let's see. Noah said, and I'm not going to know. Dana Price, oh, God, yeah. Butch Reed and Ron Simmons were stone-faced when they hit the ring. Talking about the Ely Brothers. Absolutely. They had one mission, as Ron Simmons did his whole career. APA, whatever you want to call it. Go to the ring, whoop some ass, win some gold.
Get the fuck out.
Go have a beer. Damn. Yeah. Damn. I see Noah. Then he says they had a Neville take on Seth Rollins for a WWE title on episode Raw. He's still on that, man. It was. I have no doubt it was a great match. Just let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
I agree with Noah. More expansion to freshen things up. If you're talking about 205 Live, I don't agree. Dana Price, she doesn't want to get the Charlotte legacy bug. Says talking about Ellering there.
Right, and I see that, but her father wasn't a wrestler.
He was a manager.
He was a manager.
Yeah, he took bumps, but he was a manager.
Right.
Daniel Price said, Lance Storm is so fucking underrated. People can give me all the heat they want, but his super kick is superior to Michaels.
Ooh.
I'd have to agree. I mean, it's not as widely known as Michaels, but the beauty of it, I mean, it's person to person. Everybody has their own opinion on it.
Look, my father is British, so he's very dry humor. Just very, tells a joke, and you're like, oh, is that the punchline? Oh, it was funny. It just took me a while to get there. I'm laughing on the inside type thing. Lance Storm, I used to like him. I mean, he was dry as shit.
But the boring gimmick kind of worked for him.
Yeah, it worked for him. It was fun. So I agree, Daniel. He was kick-ass. Kick-ass, Seabass.
Yeah.
Anything else we missed from the episode tonight besides Tom Phillips sucking?
No.
Okay. All right, wonderful. So let's go into discussion. Oh, Golda got a little neat discussion for us here. We're going to get more sound effects for this show as we move forward, too. Discussion is 1 year from now. 1 year from now in NXT. So on the board, please tell us something you think 1 year from now, what's going to be going on in NXT. So I'm going to let Steve Awesome open this one up.
I'm going to say the Street Profits will be the tag team champions by that point.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
I like it.
Simple to the point, and I like it. I like it a lot.
What works about this is we all know Roode is not going to be there a year from now. Asuka's not going to be there from a year from now.
Right.
Drew McIntyre, he's back now, but he's not going to be there a year from now. He's got a short stay in NXT. Yeah. They're moving him right up.
Okay.
So, I mean, where are we going to go?
You tell me.
For the NXT championship, I feel like a year from now, if they're going to pull the trigger on Roderick getting a title, it would be a year from now. But what we see in 2 weeks is really going to tell us if they really think he's going to be able to do it, or if he's just going to be a mid-carder for life. Women's title, I think that's going to be. I want to say Nikki's going to be gone. Ruby Riott. I say Ruby might be champ by then.
I can see Ruby.
Yeah, because I think Sanity's going to be going up. Because Eric Young's 38 years old. They got to go up with him a year from now. Nah. What women does that leave? Liv Morgan?
Here I come, SmackDown. Here I come.
It's not going to be Liv Morgan. It's not going to be her little sidekick that always wears the bunny ears.
How long has Liv Morgan been on the NXT?
Been 6 months, maybe?
Yeah.
Off and on, about 6 months.
So an average stay for those that aren't just superstars, that are the pure developmental, you're looking, 3-4 years?
Yes.
So Liv Morgan's still going to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
But are they going to pull the trigger on a title, or is she going to get the Enzo treatment where she's always a bridesmaid, never a bride?
I like her, but I don't see big things for her.
Right.
And I think she's always going to be a role player.
I mean, Bianca Blair, she'll be on TV by then.
Bianca Blair, boys and girls, if you do not know this young lady, and if you know my connections, then whatever. But this is not a favoritism thing. This is not like, oh, my kid did so great at this sport, even though he was running around picking his nose, pulling shit out of his ass.
Nose picking, ass picking.
Ass picking. Yeah. Ass picking, yeah. This is a true opinion here. If you have not seen Bianca Blair, and I believe you're going to see her in the women's tournament, this woman, this lady is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
That fly is not fantastic.
No, the flies are killing me. But absolutely fantastic. She's a great worker. She's got charisma out the yin yang. She's got
and she's just as athletic as Charlotte, if not more.
If not more. A former track star, and now she's bulked up with all that agility too.
I'm telling you, go to the YouTube and type in NXT tryouts and look, and then Bianca Blair. Or there's one you can type in that said William Regal yells at people at tryouts, and you'll see this girl in action. Oh my God, she is good. She is really, really good. So prepare yourself. So yeah, I'm with you. A year from now, I think Bianca Blair is in the top card of NXT.
Yes.
I think a year from now, as Steve said, again, an honest opinion, not a favoritism thing. I think Street Profits is buying for the title, if not having the title.
Might even be before then. Who knows, man?
Who knows? It could be. But in a year from now, those two things, in a year from now, I see Peyton Royce and Billy still there, but mixing it up in the top card as well.
Yes.
So a lot of things, a lot of people, and I don't think Ohno will be there one way or the other. I mean, main roster is gone.
Yeah, I feel like Drew Galloway stole a lot of his thunder. Or Drew McIntyre, sorry, when he came in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was supposed to be Ohno's spot where he's maybe the person to finally dethrone Bobby Roode, and then all of a sudden they sign Drew Galloway or Drew McIntyre. They're like, you know what? Drew's a bigger name. We're gonna go with him for now.
Yeah, my problem with Ohno is I think he's great for the fans that like him, like the NXT crowds, the indie crowds. They like him, and I get why they like him. I don't think he shines with the other like main roster type fans. I just don't think he does. I don't think he will. I think people like me who are not indie darling lovers look at him and go, yeah, he's good. I like him. Some of the stuff he does, but I'm not excited about him going anywhere, honestly.
And for the main title, you have to look at some of the guys that could potentially be brought in within the next year. Within the next, I'd say by TakeOver Brooklyn, Adam Cole's there. We don't know if Kenny Omega is going to come over when his contract's up next January.
Right.
He was talking about doing a 1 year and then seeing where he stood. At this point, if they don't give him the IWGP title, there's nothing left to do in New Japan.
Okay.
I know Daniel Price is going to argue that, but...
Noah says Adam Cole and the Young Bucks will be the NXT Tag Champions. Oh, God.
The Young Bucks?
Adam Cole and or the Young Bucks will be NXT Tag Champs. I don't think they'll come to NXT. I really do not.
Yeah, they're doing too good right
Yeah, they're doing fine with creative freedom. They're not going to go there and get handcuffed.
Right, and if they do sign, I think Vince is going to put them right to SmackDown
they got a big enough
or
draw.
Raw. Yeah, they're
going to make money off of them.
Oh, they are a draw.
Yeah, they're the biggest names that aren't in WWE.
Yeah,
which we talk about all the time. So
Tim Smith said maybe Omega will finally be there too.
That's the one. Exactly. I really think if the Bucks are really thinking about coming over, Omega's right there with them.
I don't think Kenny Omega would go to NXT again, like you said for the Young Bucks. I think he's
going to be main roster.
Roster right away.
Right.
But as we've said before, people in Japan loves him, and he loves Japan.
Yes.
So he's kind of got it made. So I mean, you could come over and do your stuff, but I don't think NXT's anywhere in his future.
Right. He's too much of a draw to not come over. I think.
Yeah.
I think he knows that like if he's to come, his name can't be any hotter than it is right now.
Right.
Like at a Royal Rumble or something like that.
Right. Exactly. Okay. And his contract is up before the Royal Rumble.
Daniel Price says NXT a year from now, hopefully something substantial with Young if he is still there. I don't think he'll still be there. I really don't. Let's see here. I think Royce and Billy will be on the main roster by next year, not NXT. Well, we disagree, but if they do, more power to them. Noah's saying it's because he's chubby. Just say it, Rob. It's not because he's chubby. Well, maybe. No. I mean, because KO is chubby.
Right.
And I like KO.
KO has
charisma.
He has it. Yes. Ohno is just kind of, he's there. He's a good talent. He's a great talent. Not taking that away from him. He might be okay in NXT, Tim, but main roster, Stephanie booking, he would be horrible. Let's see. And Dana Price, he will get it, Golda. That is why Okada and Omega 2 was a draw. Omega is going to hit Angel's Wings on Okada and get that IWGP title.
I think at this point they kind of have to. He has had like the two best matches from Japan in the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. And he makes a perfect point about that's why they made it a time limit draw. This way there has to be another match.
Right.
So if he doesn't go over in that match, he's not going to be getting the title.
I agree. All right, so there you go. There's our discussion topics, and let's move on now to our just to talk real quickly about next week. We got Asuka built against Nikki Cross for the last woman standing match, in the year of the women's first. I mean, the first Money in the Bank, first Iron Woman. What other firsts do we have this year? I'm trying to cage match or Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
I
think
TLC. No.
TLC. We'll probably get there. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I'm looking forward to this one the most out of all the firsts.
And yes, that was exactly what I was about to say, because the way those two women were so aggressive at each other last week, you have to think that this is going to be not just a little kick and a little punch here and a bad bump there and a soft bump here, but these two they're gonna tear each other the fuck apart.
I mean, Asuka pretty much got drowned in that cooler.
Yeah,
that was great.
And I mean, just the table shot alone. That's how you go through a table, Charlotte, like that. And I am actually really excited about this Asuka Nikki Cross match. But I have to say, I think the Empress continues her reign.
Yeah, Nikki's going to take all the bumps.
Nikki will take all the bumps.
And she's good at it.
Oh, yeah. I don't see any reason why Nikki would get the title now against Asuka, unless they're going to do a Asuka loses and then gets it right back. But, I mean, I think everybody wants to see Asuka and Ember, and I think NXT knows that.
One last time.
One last time, or they were. I think they were supposed to have something bigger than what they had.
Yeah, I really think whenever she drops the title, it's going to be to Ember Moon, which I would guess would be TakeOver Brooklyn at this point.
Right. Noah says, is last woman standing mean no? Yes, no DQ. Anything happens.
Of course.
It's like a standing 10 count, right? For the last
yes.
man. Yeah,
yes.
So standing 10 count, basically what it is. So you beat the shit so bad that you just can't get up in time. So there you go. Dana Price says Tim Ricochet is making way too much money between LU and the Indies. I don't know. I have Kiera ask him. Who knows?
Lucha Underground. That's such a good wrestler.
Yeah, but look, I don't think anybody disagrees. Next week, Asuka and Nikki Cross is going to be a great match and something that we needed for a few weeks because the shows have been a little stale.
We've been trying to feature some of the other performers like Prince.
Velveteen Dream. I love Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, these tapings are going to be tomorrow. So you guys should. I'm not going to check Facebook at all tomorrow night.
You know, here's the thing. I was putting together the graphic that we have on the screen now, and I was just kind of trying to remember all the NXT superstars I could think of to put on screen, and I realized in doing so how many goddamn people they have on this roster for a 1 hour weekly show.
That's not even everybody.
No, it's not. No, there's probably 30 more that I just didn't put up there.
That's why I really think they're going to start going to 2 hours. Look at all that quality talent on that TV. You can't have all of them on TV and then to properly book the storylines to go with them.
I don't hate 2 hours if it's not a damn promo fest.
Right. I mean, if they make it like a regular NXT episode, but lengthen the matches out a little bit, have a little bit more
matches.
Yeah, just like a Raw,
6,
like a SmackDown, but because they do a much better job of their storytelling for their for their storylines than they do on Raw and SmackDown.
Right, but again, if they have to utilize the roster here because we've talked about it before. The good thing about NXT is it's 1 hour, right? 1 hour. So that means like when Enzo and Cass was there, you'd see them every 2 to 3 weeks. They would come out and do their little gimmick, and it was fresh still. Main roster, they get there, they're doing their gimmick every single week, and it's like after 2 months, you're like, yeah, you know what? Kind of over this. Kind of bored now with it.
Yeah, because their pop when they first came out the Raw after Mania last year was loud, and ever since then it's slowly gone down because people are all like you and me. They're just tired of hearing
right.
Hey yo, my name's Enzo Amore. We're like, yeah, we know what your fucking name is. You're a little midget. Get in the ring and get bumped around.
Right. So if NXT went 2 hours, you need to space out your talent. You don't need to have repeats all the time. But the other thing about that is, they do a 4 hour showing, 4 hour taping on this at Full Sail. So we're talking about
tapings to be longer.
They're going to go to 8 hours of taping.
Take an intermission.
Or they just tape 2 episodes every 2 weeks.
That could be it.
They could do that.
They could do that. I don't think they'd ever go live.
No. They like to be able to control it in case something happens because these are, some of them are quote unquote amateurs.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to cut things out.
Not to mention they use a lot of students for their production. So you know what? Okay. Let's see. Anything on the board worth a damn there, Stevie?
They were just Tim Smith said Velveteen Dream, babe.
Oh, I love him.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'm behind. I am totally there. That's why he's on the front of the screen right there.
I can't wait for his shirt to come out. I'm buying 3.
Daniel Price said he has a point even with split tapings that is way too many people to try to get on TV.
Okay. No, I agree. It's a huge roster, but again, that can work to your advantage. You don't have to have them all in the same night.
Right.
You if you got 60 people, you could do 20, 20, 20, and then I'm craving some Aleister Black. You're gonna make me crave him for 3 weeks. Don't give me a helping of him every week. So I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of over Taco Bell. I've had it every day.
Yeah, I'm over Taco Bell too.
Time for a cheeseburger, right?
Time for a cheeseburger. How about that? You didn't know what I just said. Fucking cheeseburger.
I know. I had to throw that in.
How about
Ring
that?
of Honor? Ring of Honor knows how to shuffle everyone around on taping, so everyone gets exposure. Even cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
I love cheeseburger. He's like 5'7", like 140 pounds, and his finisher is like this chop thing, and people fucking sell it like it's like a Joey Ryan dick flip.
That's awesome.
And there's no way that little slap hurts, but man, they sell the fuck out of it.
Okay. All right, guys. So there you go. There's that. Let's go and do our plugs here for this week. And we got Rossum coming up on Monday night. Again, we're going to try our best to have our first segment with the Wookiee, who, again, we thank deeply for his help today. You kept me from shooting one of my two co-hosts. Not because I hate him, just because I think I wanted to kill somebody at a certain point. So thank you, Wookiee. Hopefully we can work that out for you on Monday night for Rossum after Raw. Tuesday night, we got SmackDown with the return of the Atom Bomb. Yes, Atom Bomb should be back in town and hosting his show from the studio. I will not be there because I don't want to deal with Bob. All right. And don't forget, next Thursday, we're going to do it all again here with the return of the Heavy Brian. We miss him.
Hey, speak for yourself, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe I should go on vacation.
Captain, my Captain Brian.
Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
And any day now, we're going to be putting the finishing touches and uploading the first volume of the Indie McIndie Face saga.
Yes.
So we're just waiting for the new computer. Now we're going to actually get everything finished and loaded up.
It is in post-production, and soon you will have Indie McIndie Face Volume 1 interviewing
JT Davidson.
JT Davidson. That is Solomon Crow, if you remember from NXT, or
Sammy Callahan.
Sammy Callahan's manager. And what promotions he's with again?
He's with Rockstar Pro, CZW, right. AAW, Ring. Let's see, he's
everywhere.
He's been on a Ring of Honor episode, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I mean, he's done all of them.
And he was a fantastic interview.
Yes, he was.
He really was. So
professional.
We're gonna very professional. We're gonna keep trying to do some of these and get those out to you guys. And I just want to say this in case anybody out there is listening. We did our Joshua Cooper interview on Rossum a couple weeks ago, and I want to invite any young, just starting indie, no name, trying to climb up the ladder type guy. I want to invite you to contact us. We'd love to have who are you segment and get to know you and let our audience get to know you as well. So please, if you're out there an indie wrestler just starting out, let us know. Maybe we'll have Kiara on soon.
Kiara.
She's
about to run them ropes, son.
About to run it. All right, let's do some final thoughts, guys. Final thoughts on the most here real quick on the board. Noah, Stevie, I saw that post on Facebook with the angry face. I hope everything is going okay. Yeah, Stevie is he lives in a world of shit.
I just responded to him. Yeah. Crazy roommates.
I'm in a world of shit.
And strangers, too.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
No, so what does Nikita think about that?
Nikita don't like it.
All right, Noah, Golda, final thoughts.
I'm very excited for next week. I'm very excited for the first ladies last woman standing match. I'm excited for the Roderick Strong versus Bobby Roode match in 2 weeks. We'll finally see how TakeOver Brooklyn's going to shape up. And when that starts to get rolling, these NXT shows are going to get much, much better.
I concur with you, my friend. For my final thought, I am excited about next week. Asuka and Nikki Cross seems like it will be a hell of a match. I hope it lives up to the hype. And I actually think for that match, blood is warranted.
Yes.
I think it is warranted.
Nikki's going to bleed.
I'm talking Ric Flair covered in fucking blood type face.
Ooh, I can't. It's on the network. They can do it.
They can do it. I think they should go for it. Nikki Cross is a pretty girl. I think she's a pretty girl. It won't hurt you, Nikki. Just a little nick right there on the hairline.
Yeah, just a little nick, just a little scratch. They'll staple that joint up real good for you.
A little Nikki for Nick.
Little Nikki.
Darling Nikki.
Oh, darling.
My
darling.
I went Prince and you went Hillbilly.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
He's been listening to those great Balls of Fire promos.
Right.
Daniel Price, takeaway. Check out the recent interview with an NXT alum, Finn Balor. He says some very telling things about the state of WWE in less than 2 minutes. I will check that out. Tim Smith, final thoughts. Thinks NXT is getting better since the Superstar shakeup. I mean, sure. I mean, everything gets better once you shake it up because it's not so mundane. So,
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I still think NXT has to pull back the reins on the indie darling search. Let us see some developmental people that nobody's heard of and let them shine big. Stop bringing in the people that have been huge on the indies and everybody's like, oh, God, now they're on NXT. Okay, well, what about those guys who are trying to make a name for themselves? Roddy's got a name. Ohno made a name for himself. Drew he has a name already. They've all built that somewhere else. Let's let the people who go in there try out at the PC, make the tryout, bust their ass at house shows to get some kind of heat. Let's let them get some time on TV. Let's highlight them. Let's put them in situations and in programs.
Mm-hmm.
I like the guys too. The Tommy, all of them, I like them, but let's let guys.
So you pair them up with veteran talent to help coach them along, and
right. I mean, that was
why not?
When NXT first started to explode, Steve. You think about it, you had the 4 horsewomen, right?
Right.
You had a lot of people. You had Seth, who came from, he came from FCW. I think he did Ring of Honor though too, didn't he?
Yes, right? Tyler Black. Yes.
Right. So I mean, there's exceptions, but a lot of the people that we fell in love with in NXT were new people. They're people we hadn't seen before, and they captivated us, and it made us interested because it was new. I don't want to just see a bunch of indie people that usually go to Armories all of a sudden jumping in on the NXT shows. I want new fans to come in. I want old fans to see new faces. I don't want to see old faces all the time. Just my take. All right.
Oh, in that Finn Balor interview, I will say that somebody asked him a question that if we're going to see the Bullet Club in WWE, and Finn Balor said that Vince sold him a whole box of goods, and he promised him that it was going to happen, and he just said now he's just taking what's given to him.
Oh, yeah, that's how it goes. I real quick before we go off, I just want to say this. I rewatched the Stone Cold podcast with Vince again, and something popped out to me that I didn't really hear the first time or pay attention to. And that's when he went on a whole diatribe about how millennials are just lazy and they're not ambitious and blah, blah, blah. And that's something you hear from people all the time, mainly people, old white men in their 50s.
Snappers.
Right. I'm 50. Steve's an exception. In their 50s, 60s, 70s, 70-year-old, like 70s, I will say 70s, all right? That's what you hear all the time. And where I work in my job, I see generational shifts, and I do see a level of laziness and a level of dumbness kind of coming from the new generation, the millennials. I don't think they're lazy. I don't think the people in NXT are lazy. I don't think the millennials on the main roster are lazy. I think Vince is out of fucking touch. I think he wants it to be the days where the guys walked in smoking cigarettes in the arena. They slapped the woman on the ass. They went in the arena and they said fuck a bunch of times and they beat somebody up and took a title out. I think he wants the good old days where he could do whatever he wanted to anytime because he was a privileged white man. And it's not like that anymore. I'm sorry, it's not. So when he says millennials are lazy, I think that's not the case. I think he's just an ornery old angry fucker. And to say that people don't rush up for the brass ring, no, they go for the brass ring. You just don't see how they're doing it because they do it differently now.
He kind of reminds me of Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
Right.
Just angry, crotchety, just mad at everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying racist epithets about everybody and doesn't care who gets mad.
Yeah. Tim says Vince likes carny wrestling. Noah, Steve is so old they didn't teach history when he was in school.
You don't have to when you live it.
That's right.
I mean, it was hard to go to school when you had to use the wood and carve it out to make books.
They didn't have school for him. Steve used to live in a cave. He wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for being patient with us tonight. Sorry about the late start, and we will get things working. We hope you like the new look, kind of. It's still work in progress. We're going to try to get a whole new a lot of bells and whistles for Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. If you're on here joining us via the podcast itself, it's going to kind of just all be audio still. So enjoy that as it may be. Hey, guys. Hey, everyone. Hey, Brian. Fuck your banana.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.